In section 8.7, we are looking at the cost of home ownership. So a mortgage is a long-term loan for the purpose of buying a home. The down payment is the portion of the sale price of the home that the buyer initially pays to the seller. The amount of the mortgage is the difference between the sale price and the down payment. Some companies, called mortgage brokers, offer to find you a mortgage lender willing to make you a loan. Fixed rate mortgages have the same monthly payment during the entire time of the loan. Variable rate mortgages, known as adjustable rate mortgages or ARMs, have payment amounts that change from time to time depending on changes in the interest rate. Most lending institutions require the buyer to pay one or more points at the time of closing, that is, the time at which the mortgage begins. A point is a one-time charge that equals 1% of the loan amount. For example, 2 points means that the buyer must pay 2% of the loan amount at closing. A document called the Truth in Lending Disclosure Statement shows the buyer the APR for the mortgage. In addition, lending institutions can require that part of the monthly payment be deposited into an escrow account. This is an account used by the lender to pay real estate taxes and insurance. These deposits increase the amount of the monthly payment. In the previous section, we used the loan payment formula for fixed installment loans to determine payments on car loans. Because a fixed rate mortgage is a fixed installment loan, we use the same formula to compute the monthly payment for a mortgage. So the monthly payment for a car and the monthly payment for a fixed mortgage is the exact same formula. So the formula below is the one we've already seen in a previous section. PMT is equal to P times R over N divided by 1 minus 1 plus R over N raised to the negative NT. So let's go ahead and look at example number 1. The price of a home is $195,000. The bank requires a 10% down payment and 2 points at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 7.5%. First, we want to do is find the required down payment. The down payment is 10% of the price of the home. So we have 0.10 times our $195,000, which gives me that the down payment is $19,500. We need to find the amount of the mortgage. So we take the sales price and we subtract the down payment. So our sales price was $195,000, and we're subtracting our down payment of $19,500, which is going to give me that the amount of the mortgage is $175,500. So that is what you would be borrowing from the bank or from your mortgage lender. How much must be paid for the 2 points at closing? So a point is 1% of the mortgage. So with 2 points, that would be 2% of the mortgage. So we're going to do 0.02 for our 2% times our mortgage, which is $175,500. And this gives me that I need to pay $3,510 at closing. And now we want to find the monthly payment. Now this will exclude any escrow taxes or insurance. So using our formula, we have that our P is $175,500. Our rate is 7.5% or 0.075. And my T is 30 because it's a 30-year fixed mortgage. So let's go ahead and plug this into the payment formula. we have 175,500 times 0.075 over 12. And then in the denominator, we have 1 minus 1 plus 0.075 over 12. Raised to the negative 12 times 30. And so again, you want to make sure you plug this into your calculator, and we're going to get about $1,227 for my monthly payment. We want to know what the total interest paid over 30 years is. So if we're paying $1,227 every month, so times 12 for 30 years, so times 30, we're going to subtract that from the mortgage. And the mortgage we took out was $175,500. So 1,227 times 12 times 30 is going to give me $441,720. And subtracting our $175,500, we get that we are paying $266,220 in interest. So we paid more in interest than our original mortgage. When a loan is paid off through a series of regular payments, it is said to be amortized, which literally means killed off. Although each payment is the same, with each successive payment, the interest portion decreases and the principal portion increases. A document showing important information about the status of the mortgage is called a loan amortization schedule. So for example number 2, we're going to prepare one of these schedules for the first 2 months of the mortgage loan shown in the following table. So the interest rate is 9.5%. The amount of the mortgage was $130,000. The number of monthly payments is $180. The monthly payment is $1,357.50, and this is a 15-year fixed loan. So for the first row, payment number 1, the first thing we're going to do is find the interest payment. So to do that, we take the amount of the loan, which is $130,000 right now. We multiply by the interest rate, which was 9.5%. So we're going to write 0.095. And because we're looking at a single month, instead of multiplying by 12, we're going to multiply by 1 out of 12. Because we're only looking at 1 month. And so when we multiply this whole thing together, we end up getting $1,029.17. The next thing we're going to do is find the principal payment. So what we're doing right now is we're seeing how much of our monthly payment goes towards interest and how much of it goes towards principal. So we know that our monthly payment was $1,357.50. but we know how much we're paying in interest of that payment. It's $1,029.17. And so that means only $328.83 is going towards the principal, which is what makes the amount of the loan go down. The interest is just tacked on. The principal affects the amount of the loan. And so the next step is the balance of the loan. So we take whatever our original loan amount is for this month, which is our $130,000, and we subtract the amount of the principal we're paying, which is $328.83. And so that means that the balance of my loan after one payment is now $129,671.67. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the first row of our table. Our interest payment was $1,029.17. Our principal payment was $328. I'm sorry, that should say 33. Let me go through and change this. So the principal should say $328.33. And now the balance of the loan is $129,671.67. We're going to do the same process with payment number 2, except now the balance of the loan is $129,671.67 instead of $130,000, because now we've paid off a tiny little bit. So starting with the interest, it's going to work really similar to what we just did, except the starting balance is now $129,671.67, and we're still going to multiply by our interest rate and by 1/12, because now I'm looking again at one month. And so we end up getting $1,026.57. So to find the principal, we take our monthly payment, which is still $1,357.50, and we're subtracting our interest payment of $1,026.57, and that gives me $330.93. So far what you'll notice is that the interest from payment 1 to payment 2 slightly lowered, not a lot, and the principal got slightly bigger. So I paid a little bit less of interest on payment number 2, and it paid a little bit more to the principal, which is what affects the balance of the loan. And so to figure out the balance, we take the loan amount, which is our $129,671.67, and we subtract our $330.93, which gives me $129,340.74. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the second row of our table. We paid $1,026.57 towards interest, $330.93 towards the principal, and then for the balance of the loan, we have $129,340.74. And so this only shows you what happens after 2 months of payments. When you take out a mortgage, you will get a schedule for your entire loan period. So in this case, you would have it for the 15 years or 180 payments, showing you how much of that specific payment number goes towards the interest and how much of it goes towards the principal. So as you can see, the majority of your payment goes towards interest first. As you've had the loan longer, more of it goes to the principal and less of it goes to the interest. And so many lenders supply one of these schedules, like the one in the example, at the time of closing, and it just shows how you'll pay slightly less in interest and more in principal for each payment over the entire life of the loan. So here's the bottom line for most financial advisors. You're supposed to spend no more than 28% of your gross monthly income for your mortgage payment. And you spend no more than 36% of your gross monthly income for your total monthly debt. This includes your mortgage payments, your car payments, credit card bills, student loans, and medical debt. So in the table below, if you have a gross annual income of $20,000, your monthly mortgage payment should be $467. And your total monthly credit obligations should be $600, and that includes your mortgage payment, and that's $600. If you make somewhere in the $60,000, your monthly mortgage payment is $1,400, and your total monthly credit obligations is $1,800. If you make $100,000, your monthly mortgage payment is now $2,333, and your total monthly credit obligations is $3,000. So just to keep in mind, in the total monthly credit obligations, they are including your mortgage payment in that total. So looking at $60,000, if I'm allowed to spend $1,400 on my mortgage and $1,800 on my total monthly, it's saying that I can only spend an extra $400 on credit card bills, car payments, student loans, and medical debt. So let's go ahead and suppose that your gross annual income is $25,000. We went around all of our computations to the nearest dollar. What is the maximum amount you should spend each month on your mortgage payment? Well, they gave me my annual income to start, so we need to figure out what is my monthly income. So we're going to take our $25,000 yearly income, and we're going to divide this by 12 to get our monthly income. And so I'm getting paid about $2,083 a month. So now that I have that figured out, I can use these percentages that were recommended to figure out how much I should spend on my mortgage. So they said that I should spend at most 28% of my monthly income. So we take 0.28 times my monthly, which was $2,083. And so that means that I should be spending $583 on my mortgage payment. What is the maximum amount you should spend each month for total obligations? So we're allowed to spend up to 36%. So we're going to do 0.36 times my monthly, which is $2,083. And I should be spending a total of $750 a month on my total credit obligations. So that's my mortgage, credit card payments, student loans, anything of that sort. I should only spend $750 a month. If your monthly mortgage payment is 80% of the maximum amount you can afford, what is the maximum amount you should spend each month for all other debt? So we know that the max amount I should spend on a mortgage payment was $583 a month. If I'm only spending 80% of that max, so 0.80 times my max of $583 means that I am only spending $466 on my mortgage portion of my total monthly debt. How much am I allowed to spend on the rest of my debt? Well, my max debt is still $750. So if I take my $750 minus the mortgage I'm paying, which is $466, then I'm allowed to spend $284 a month on anything else that's credit related. And so then we come down to, should we rent or should we buy? So there are some benefits of renting. There's no down payment or points required. You generally have a security deposit that is returned at the end of your lease. It's very mobile. You can easily relocate, moving as often as you like as your lease permits. It does not tie up hundreds of thousands of dollars that might be invested more safely and lucratively elsewhere. Most financial advisors agree that you should buy a home because you want to live in it, not because you want to fund your retirement. It does not clutter what you can afford for your total monthly debt with mortgage payments. It may involve lower monthly expenses. You pay rent, whereas a homeowner pays the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and upkeep. It can provide amenities like swimming pools, tennis courts, and health clubs. You avoid the risk of falling housing prices. Does not require any home repair, maintenance, and groundskeeping, no property taxes, and it generally is less costly than buying a home when staying in it for fewer than 3 years. Now, some benefits of homeownership is a peace of mind and stability. It also provides significant tax advantages, including deduction of mortgage interest and property taxes. There is no chance of rent increasing over time. This allows for freedom to remodel, landscape, and redecorate. You can build up equity, the difference between the home's value and what you owe on the mortgage as the mortgage is paid off. The possibility of home appreciation is a potential source of cash in the form of home equity loans. And when looking at a 7-year time frame, the total cost of renting, which is your monthly rent, renter's insurance, loss of potential interest on a security deposit, is more than twice the total cost of buying for homeowners who itemize their tax deductions.